Hello, in this video I'll be showing you how to assemble Fortress Maximuss from the printed parts. So as you can see, I have two of them assembled already, so we'll be just using the parts to achieve this look. And I have them ready here, so I will be showing you more of them later, but just so you know, this is what we will be creating. So as you can see, I have the biggest parts laid out. I like to apologize for the opened window and the noise, but it is very hot and I just have to have it opened. So these are the three main colors. This is a cream white, light gray and dark blue. So we will be building the basic form from those parts. There are also some smaller parts made of red and other colors, but we will get to that at the end. So I will be selling the files later on. They are not available yet, but I am making this so just that you can see how you can build the figure when you have them. So I think we can begin with the feet. So if you've seen my video for my Scorponak model, this guy, I have used some of the solutions. Some mechanics are similar, so let me check if we have focus, and I think it should be okay. So let's begin with the feet. So these are the feet, and there's a very similar mechanism. So you just put the socket in, rotate this so it's facing like this, and just slide it in so that it is secure now, and the only way to remove it would be just pulling like this, but you won't be doing much of that movement. Later on you can secure this with some glue, but for now we will just slide it in like this. We have one foot. Now for the other one, these are the colors I chose. You can find the other socket. It should be here somewhere. Did I leave it? Yeah, sorry, I left it to the side. So here's the other socket. This part can be also dark blue. I chose this color just because I thought that it looked okay. And same with this. So we have those two feet, and all you do is you just slide them like this. And of course, sorry, this angle. Okay, of course, if you force them out, they will pop off, but they are quite secure. And I could make a block like this, but it just, because of the way they slide in and out, it gives me a lot of movement. So as you can see, the movement is blocked, but if we slide it a bit, it gives a lot more range. So this is I chose this solution. So we have the two legs ready. We have cannons for them, but we'll put them later on. Sorry for the cat hair again, it will be present. So we have the two legs. So now we can work with the knees. And for the knees we have those two parts. This is the one part and this is the other part. And they slide in like this. Oh, sorry, like this. But there is also another part that is this part, and you, let me check if the focus is okay. You just slide this in like this, and it is supposed to move in and out. I sanded this a bit just not to give too much friction. So I just slide this one in like this. I will show you why it's here later on. So the same for this one. And before you can slide it like this, it can be stiff at first. I just put this in and out a few times just to make this a bit less stiff, but you can see. But before we do that, we can use those parts. These are the thigh, I think, or the part above the knee. So as you can see, we have to put this smart bar inside. So to do that, you can just slide this part in and just align this and slide this in, and it's just holding. As you can see, the length of this one is not the full length of the socket. It will hold, but I will be making option to print a longer pegs, but just I have the shorter ones here. But if you want, you can also use the shorter ones. You can just push this slightly, just very slightly inside, but make sure that it is aligned. Okay, so just push too much again. so sorry. Okay, so it's more or less in the center, so it should be working fine. So let's slide this in. So we have one leg, and those parts are mirrored, so it doesn't matter which one you put where. And once again, you just slide this in. Okay, make sure it is aligned, and again, I'll just slightly push this so it's not exactly to one side. Okay, so as you can see, moving like this, and once they are pushed, the robot mode intended configuration is for them to be like this, so that they cover up the back of the leg. And there is also a use for them in alternative mode, and I have this goes on the outside of the leg, and I have those two ports for some optional attachments that I will be perhaps making later on. And this Fortress Maximus usually has armor on his right leg, so I made this part here that you can plug in. You can secure it with glue, and it should hold like this, but it's easy to knock off. Okay, so the next part are those, and I already put this part in just to test it, and the way it is made, you cannot remove it, so I'm sorry, but those two parts will already be will already be like this. I will be maybe showing you if I have some. No, I don't have any lying around, so you just do the same, align. This could be a bit harder because you can't see the other part of the hole, but you just align this and push this peg in, and they just slide like this, and like this here, and you have those parts. Next is the waist piece, and the way they slide is just by twisting and pushing this in very slightly. You just put this in like this, and the other part. So we have the legs, and I will be adding a part that you can print and lock this part, but because of the way they look, and so I wanted them to match the comic, this doesn't offer a lot of movement. So if you want to raise the leg, I mean, it can move like this, but if you would like to raise the leg, if you do not put this in, you can just slightly move it down, and then it can be adjusted. It fell off because I have limited visibility at this angle, but as you can see, if I can adjust the focus a bit, as you can see, it can have this pose with no problem, and it doesn't have to pop off just like it did. As you can see, it can be moved without popping off. Next part is this stomach, the part above the waist, and you just put this in this, and at first it may be stiff, so I suggest just pushing and slightly rotating until it fits, and it should be a very secure fit. And now, before adding the next part, as you can see, there is a groove here. I will adjust the camera very slightly so I have more room. And this is for the tower, so you just have to use this part, and you will have to put this in like this, and then rotate down so it is flat. And the next part is this big part, and it will go into this part. Make sure that all the material inside is clean. I think I will be making a version where this hole goes all the way through, so that there isn't any material left, because if it's not, there is some residue left, it could not sit flat and be just like a small gaping hole, and once you push this in, it may be hard to remove. So once again, when you are pushing this in, as you can see, it sits flat, and by pushing this in, you also lock this tower here. And now this can rotate for transformation, but when you're putting this in alternative robot mode and moving up, it locks the whole piece. So let's move it down for now. Okay, so we have a lot done already, so perhaps let's move to the arms, because it will be done next. And for the arms, this is the forearm part, and these are the parts that go inside. So as you can see, they are not mirrored, so they are different on one side, so make sure that those parts are the same, but you should make sure that, where is it? This is it? No, sorry, I don't know. Oh, this one. Make sure that when you put this, as you can see, they do not fit, because this is slightly bigger on one side and this is on the other side. So to disconnect this, because it was connected. So this is the proper configuration. The bigger part is on the other side, like this. And do not put those parts in yet. And you can put this part in, this bar, which I will do now. So you just align this and just push this in. If it's stiff, you can just use something to push this in a bit. You can help with the other part, and they should fill this part fully, so like this. And now you have to slide this inside all the way in, and it should be blocking here. So the only way to remove it is to slide it this way. So you have this, and now you can put this part in, and also like with this bar. So I will help myself with this desk again, and I will help myself with, let's see, this part. Okay. So as you can see now, well, it's quite stiff. Okay, but okay, and now as you can see, there is no way to remove it, and you just have to cover this part here, and we can do this with fist. So this arm is the other arm. So, but I will show you how to attach. You attach the fist to this part here. Just goes in, and I already did that with the other fist. Oh, so here it is. And after you do it, you just push this part in till it locks. Okay, so this way, make sure it's all the way. Okay, so this way it is blocked, so you have two positions, like this and like this. I will show you why later. And after this part you have, where is it, this part that goes in here. Okay, and now you just have to push in this thing here, which let's use push from this side, and we just have to align this. And again, because I don't have any light, I'm not sure if I can do it properly. I have to move a bit just to see it from the top. Okay, and it went in. Make sure it goes like this. So this is the arm, and there is also a shoulder armor that I will be putting later on. So we have one arm, and let's do the other one fast. Okay, so once the arms are done, you have those two parts. Those two parts, and they are used to hold the arms. So this goes on the left, and you cannot see it because it's off camera. So this goes on this side, and this goes on this side. And the way you do it is you, similar to the leg, you just slide this in and make sure it goes all the way up. And you could also make a block here, but I just want to leave the option to move it slightly up or down. So we have one arm. For the second arm we just do the same. Okay, and now we have to disconnect this so you can see. You have to use this part, and you have to slide this part in here. So it just slides like this, and you push it till it locks. And now you have this plate here, and you just push one end here, the second end in here. And now with the two of them connected, you just slide everything all the way back, so you have something like this. So we are getting there slowly. And now you can plug this hole with this thing here, and the armor parts slide in. But before we do that, let's wait, because we have to do something else. We should do a ramp, but let me pause for a second. Sorry, I misplaced one panel. This is the panel, and this is a centerpiece, and you just place the panel here. And this is done so that you can print with separate colors. Okay, so we can just slide this in here to close up the chest, and we have ramps that go on the back, so we just use a similar system as before. So we can just put this panel here and just slide this in, and it should hold just fine, similar to the other panel. We just slide this in, align everything, and we have this panel connected. And you can push it a little bit further, just like I said. So I will be making a longer pins as an option, but I just printed a lot of the shorter ones, so I am using them. And now you plug this part to the back of the armor, shoulder armor. So like it should go like this, and just maybe tight, but it should go okay. So you have something like this, and similar to the other one, we just use this part here. Okay. Oh, sorry. It's hard to maneuver. I may have to do this because I need to put pressure. Oh, I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. And now you just slide the armor here. So a lot of the figure is done, and we are missing some parts. So this is a tower part, and there is an opening here for a like a canopy, and I have a small box of parts here. They are very tiny so that I do not lose them, and this can be printed in different plastic. This is a green transparent plastic, and you just place this in here. It should fit. When we move to the back, this should also fit here and rotate. And using this panel, you can put this will rise. You will put this in, and using this clip, it should lock everything, and it should hold very nice. It should be very stiff. This should also be very stiff, so I will have to fix that later, but never mind. Now, okay, so we are missing few parts. We are missing some red details. So obviously the cannons are like this, and the way you put them is there are channels here, so you just twist them like this, and by rotating and wiggling them in, they are just fit. You can use your finger to grab this to lift them, and they should be quite secure. Same with this, just wiggle them in. Okay, and for this part here, I can use my trusty small box. You of course have a panel that can cover this up. There is also an option for a printed logo like this, but so you can remove this and put this part in, and there are 3 holes here that you can plug with with those parts, and there are 2 of them. So if I may, so the one on the, come on, focus. Will it focus? Okay, so the smaller one goes to the center, the bigger ones go to the sides, and this peg here is slightly longer. That's because of the printing. So from experience, it is better to print this longer and just cut it than just to print it short, because it made the form at smaller length. So the way I do this, I just cut this part here, something like this, and just so that I won't lose it. So I have very short pin like now, and we just push this in here. So we have one. I will cut the other one, holding it down so it doesn't just go flying. We have the other one, and just one more. Okay, so okay, and I will put this in here. Okay, so and also we have those 2 forearm parts that need detail, and they are those 2 parts that you just plug in like this. Okay, so yeah, this arm is loose. I'm not sure if I used the proper part, but you can, of course, if you push, you can pop this thing off and just stiffen it. It happened the first time because all my other ones are stiff, so they not slide down. I think I used the wrong part, so that the more loose part. So okay, we have most of the body ready. We can move to the gun. So this is the gun, and it has an optional sight, and you just plug this in here. And the reason it is separate because it's easy to knock off, so I wanted it to not to break, just to fall off. You can glue it if you want, it won't fall off if you move, but if you just like move it like this, it will disconnect. And he can hold this in hand, of course, like this. And for my presentation the hand is sliding down, great. So like this, but there's also a second way to store it in this mode, and it is using this part here and this part here. It can just slide in, and just like in the comic, it is on his back. You can do this other way around, but from the comics I had, it was like this. It was with the barrel facing up. And as you can see here, there is a opening, and there is a panel for the ball joint for the head, but I left this separate because there is a unique toys head that I am waiting for, and I will make an adapter so that the head can also fit on this body. But assuming you do not have this, let us assemble the head. And I will move the camera down because the head is much smaller, and to use that we will use the violet version. I will also show you other color versions, but this is the one I will be using now. And let's move all the parts here. So you have this back of the helmet, you have two horns, but so the way for them to be stronger, they have to be printed flat. So that's what they are, why they are separate. If I would print them like this, it would be very easy to break them like this, but the way they are printed flat, they are much stronger. And this is the forehead part. Okay, we just need the face, and I have some faces here, so let me just, so this is the face and the visor, and the visor is, they are here. So I just have them in a separate bag. I keep them like this so I do not lose them because they are quite small. I usually, when I print smaller parts, I usually print a few of them, because when removing small parts they may break, so I usually have extra. So the easiest way is to put the visor first, and you just slide this in. It should be stiff so that it's holding securely. Like the way I put this right now, it's a bit crooked, so you can use some tool to push this down so that it is flat. As you can see, I am just aligning this. You can slide this normally, but like I said, it's a hard angle. And we can put the face now. But the face is meant to be swappable. So there is a smiling variant. So we have something like this, and this cross was usually a different color. So this is an opening, and you can print a small square in different color. You can also print it in the same color and use a piece of paper. I used both. Right now I have a white one, so I will use the white one and just align it the way you want. I will just slide it in so that it's filling the hole, and now just push this in, and it should click in place. And because of the visor, it should hold like this. And now just put those horns to the side, and they should also, everything should snap in. If it is too loose, you can of course glue this. I would just recommend not gluing the face because it is removable. I will show you some options later. So we have the head. We just need to put this part in, and this is the neck. And like I said, this one it should be removable, but it is pretty tight, so you just slide this in and just wiggle the head in. At first time it may be tight, So I would recommend just to put the panel alone like this and just move it so it just expands this hole a bit. Should be okay now. So I will. What? Sorry. It's very hot. Okay, like this. Okay. I think this panel is the looser one. You know what? Let me grab a second panel because I think this panel is not the correct one. It's bad for me that I'm keeping some previous versions around, so I think this should be much stiffer. Yeah. So once everything is put in correctly, you should have something like this. So this is my Marvel Fortress Maximus. You can of course use another head option, color option. I will be showing you that later. There is an option to put the mirror of this armor on the other side if you would wish, and the arm articulation allows for the arm to bend like this, so it's kind of a butterfly joint, so you can have this more dynamic pose. And this is what I told you, that I knocked off this side. I will put this to the side right now because I'll not be using it. So you can remove the gun from his back and put it in his hand. So you have a figure like this. I showed more options and articulation on my basic presentation. This is more of an instruction how to put them together. I will be showing you how to transform him very quickly. So you can move the hand, the gun to the side. You can leave the head on or remove it. It's up to you. I will leave it on just to show you. To transform him, we move him to the back. You slide those two parts up. Move this part here, and you just slide those parts inside like this. Arms will rotate up like this. Just make sure that they are straightened before you do it. And I knocked off the red part. It's really not that delicate, but I'm just holding my hands in front of the camera, and I know I'm using that excuse a lot, but it's the truth. So now you just slightly lift this to unlock this tower. This is a normal sound. You rotate this like this, rotate this part, now rotate this, and for the head you have to turn it sideways and just move it so it hides. You can remove it and leave this open or close, it's up to you. And now you have something like this, and it is what he looked like in the comics. You can lift more or less, you can lift of course those parts here, and the gun without the sight, my convenience, just can store in here, and it's quite loose, the hole, so I might have to, not sure why, but for others, let me try another gun, maybe just that. Okay, so this tower tip probably is too loose, but the basic idea is the ones that I will be shipping are of course tested. This is just the one I'm putting together from the parts I have left. So you have something like this, and there is kind of a city mode, so if you want to rotate this part here, you can just move those arms, legs up like this. So this is more of a fun mode, which came as an idea later on, so it's not perfectly balanced, and probably you would have to put something to the side, but you can kind of have a city mode with the gun like this. So let me move to others, and so these are the only copies that I made so far. This one will need to be checked, the one that I put together in front of you, but the rest are holding fine and they are stiff. I did experiment with some different shade of red at this one. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a more brighter red, but I came to the conclusion that this one fits the overall color scheme better. Sorry. Oh, it's hot. So I will be shipping them with two heads, this color head and this gray, which I like. This one has a smiling face, which will also be optional. So this is an instruction how to put this together from my files. Let me put Scorponok in. My other projects and files for Scorponok are available right now. There are also some test files that you can download just to print the lower part of the figure, and they are meant to go together as a team. I mean as a team, as in not as a team, as a... Why isn't he standing straight? Let me just check his legs. Yeah, as adversaries, rivals, or as rivals. In the comic they didn't really weren't really showed side by side, but here they are. And I think on the camera it seems like there are different heights, but actually their torsos and the eyes should be on the exactly same level. So if I could maybe modify the camera view to show you this, so they should be eye to eye on their level. So this is an instruction for my Fortress Maximus. Thank you very much for seeing this video. Sorry for the chaos. And see you at my other projects. So as a bonus, here are some of the head colors I experimented with before I settled on this one, which is I think closer to the comic and fits the overall color scheme better. This one is also nice, and I also made a red gun because it was just the material was in the printer and wanted to test it. So you can play around with the colors, do whatever you like. Once again thank you and good luck.